What is going on to you, crabs out there? I can't even say the word because, like, YouTube will go ahead and chastise me for it. I don't understand it. But anyway, so for you crabs, right? Other YouTubers can say it. But anyway, whatever. For you Cancer crabs, you have the Five of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Six of Wands right here, right? YouTube doesn't understand that I'm talking about the zodiac sign and not the anyway. Anyway, so for you, the Five of Cups and the Nine of Wands, right? Let's start with the Five of Cups. This is about how some of you Cancer crabs are, a lot of you are very much so getting more in touch with the spiritual side of things. A lot of you Cancers have been understanding that you can't, rely always on just physical things, and that there is a world beyond this one, right, of the spiritual, where things have to happen spiritually first, invisibly first, things that people may not necessarily actually occur or excuse me, notice that is happening, has to pass through that first before it becomes physical. And a lot more of you Cancer crabs have been communing with spirituality and seeking answers in a much more creative and unconventional way, right? And the Nine of Wands is about how, the Nine of Wands speaks to what you've been doing and what have you been seeking spiritual consultation for, right? So it's either through spiritual, non-religious practice or from religious practice. You know, nothing wrong with either or, I'm just saying. And the thing is that the Nine of Wands, this is New York. So the Nine of Wands speaks to the situation at hand. So it could be somebody, it could be a particular situation where it's an idea, some sort of obstacle, but you'll find out why I said somebody later on in the future. The Six of Wands speaks to how a lot of you keep thinking that you get over this speed bump or this person. But let me just go straight to it. The Ace of Swords and the Six of Cups. You Cancer crabs keep thinking that, you know, when you've essentially, you know, told this person to leave you alone or to stop rocking with you, or you don't want to have anything to do with them, it's like they don't leave you alone. And so the best thing that a lot of you Cancer crabs are doing is consulting spiritually. Like, okay, maybe, you know, it's time for you Cancer crabs to burn some sage. You know what I mean? To get these people up on out of the way, to not only just clear your life physically, but stop coming back, right? To not actually keep trying to reach out to you again. You know, you can actually be left, that's my cat down there, but you can actually be left alone from them, because you Cancer crabs don't even want to have anything to do with them at all. You want to actually tell them no, and they finally really get it, that, you know, they understand, you know, no means no, instead of them coming back and, you know, periodically every now and again they reach out to you Cancer crabs, try to see what type of time you Cancer crabs are on, you know, trying to get their foot back in the door with you so that they can make you feel comfortable, so that hopefully the two of y'all can be in a relationship again. But the Four of Cups and the Five of Swords is about how, again, like, Two of Cups, you don't want to have anything to do with them, but they won't take no for an answer because they're deluded. And the person that is deluding them is themselves. Like, they don't know how to honestly let go. They don't understand that you Cancer crabs don't want to have anything to do with them at all. They don't want to understand that. And so because they lack this kind of understanding, they will tell themselves things that are completely not true. Like, they just need to try harder. They need to try something differently, you know, but they understand. They understand that they need to try something differently, but what they try that's differently is actually not helping the situation at all. So maybe they'll go get, like, they'll like go try to figure out how to get a bag, or like they'll do this or they'll do that, or you know what I'm saying, or something, or they'll do something like that. But what they don't want to understand is for them to accept the fact that for you Cancer crabs, things are over, and that they can't necessarily go back in the past and go back in the past and fix things before they actually happen, but they can learn from the mistake of having it happen again, right? So, but the Five of Swords and the Two of Cups is they're walking away as they're looking towards the relationship that they've had with you. But the Five of Swords also represents you Cancer crabs as well, about how you walked away from the relationship heartbroken at first, but a lot of you Cancer crabs have learned to actually bounce back from that, and you're not heartbroken about it anymore. Anyway, the Hermit and the Knight of Swords though represents you Cancer crabs are not going to reach out. You're not going to talk to them. You're not going to let them know that you are even around. You're just not going to reach out to them at all. You're not going to interact with them. You're not going to do anything. For you Cancer crabs, I see that it's at a point where you realize that they're delusional. They're so deluded. They're so warped to the point where you Cancer crabs realize that there's no point in actually reaching out to them, talking to them, trying to get to know them. There's no point in that. I'm seeing how a lot of you Cancer crabs understand that, you know, the more you do that is the more that they're going to delude themselves into thinking, delude themselves into being convinced that like there's actually a chance between you and them, and there's not. Because even what I'm seeing here is, honestly, even when the two of you actually do get together, right, it's terrible. You and this ex, the two of you mixing, it's like oil and water, right? Of course, you Cancer crabs being the water. It's terrible. You know, it's terrible. You and this person don't get along because the two of you don't value the same things. You Cancer crabs value loyalty and you know, and money and position and home and the solitude and the privacy that the home provides, and the loyalty that your family members and everything, and the people that you consider close to you. Because getting next to a Cancer crab is difficult too, right? Like a Cancer crab will be getting to know you for years, and like the Cancer crab still won't consider you. I don't get it, but okay. Okay, so let's clarify the Hermit actually. You have the Eight of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Death card, Ten of Cups, the Four of Swords. So the Eight of Swords and the Hanged Man is about how, again, you're looking for them to exhaust themselves. You Cancer crabs are looking for them to do this same thing where it's like they're nowhere to be found, hyping themselves up to come back. They reach back out, talk to you. They don't get an answer. They disappear. Then they do the very same thing over and over and over again. A lot of you Cancer crabs are like waiting for them to actually get tired of doing that, from not getting any kind of answers, from not getting any kind of replies. This is why it is I said a lot of the times, my dear Cancer crabs, it's very good to be impartial and to not do anything sometimes, because what happens is that sometimes you'll be thinking to yourself, oh, you know, telling the person that you don't want to have anything to do with them is going to get them to stop. When sometimes people are just deluded, so deluded, in fact, where telling them to leave you alone is just as good as, hi, hello, you know, let's actually get back into a relationship. Even though it's not actually the same thing, they will delude themselves into thinking of it as that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just as terrible. Sometimes you just have to be quiet, not say anything, let them just kind of be deluded, be around, just do their own thing, just be deluded, right? And the thing is that the Death card and the Ten of Cups represents, for you, Cancer crabs, it's over. Like, y'all have done the infamous, famous, or the famous and infamous walking away. Like I was telling y'all about, y'all are done. Y'all, that is ancient history to y'all. And the thing is that the Four of Swords represents, yeah, like it's what I'm seeing, it's done. It's a relationship that's done in the water. There is no reviving that. There is no resuscitation of that. You know, there is none of that. You Cancer crabs are finished. Y'all don't, meaning finished with the relationship. Y'all do not want anything to do with that relationship between yourselves and this other person whatsoever. Y'all are finished with that. Y'all finally, you Cancer crabs was finally able to get the closure that y'all are looking for. It may not have necessarily been the closure that you would have liked. A lot of you Cancer crabs would have probably liked to actually work things out with them, but nah. You know, nah. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords. Nah. Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, King of Swords, Page of Swords. Oh, wow. Page of Wands. So to clarify the Knight of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands, it speaks to how they're going to keep trying, but once again, you're not going to actually give them any kind of light. You're not going to give them attention. You're going to do everything that you can to really stay away from them, because you realize that you're not going to participate. Participating with them, even in telling them to F off, is making it worse, because they're lying to themselves and convincing themselves that you're actually playing hard to get, that this is some sort of game. This is the problem with games. The King of Swords and the Page of Swords, however, represents you do have to watch your back a little bit, because a person who thinks that you're playing a game with them, if they don't have self-worth, which they don't have a whole lot of, they're just going to get more angry as time go on, right? And the thing is that the Page of Wands represents, so just lay low, because this person is starting to get more upset at the fact that you Cancer crabs are playing hard to get, and you're wasting time when the two of you could be in a relationship. They're delusional.